Welcome to Brevard Beat.
Great to be here.
Tonight, we're exploring something truly magical happening right in our local waters.
Bioluminescence.
Exactly. That incredible glow you can see in Brevard County's waterways. Picture it. You're paddling, maybe boating. It's dark.
And the water just lights up around you, that blue-green glow. It's
It's-
unreal.
It really is.
Yeah.
Almost otherworldly. And the best time to catch this is coming up soon, right?
Yeah, generally March and April are peak season. That's when conditions are often best.
And it's all down to these microscopic organisms.
That's right. Mostly dinoflagellates. Tiny little things that flash light when they're disturbed, by a paddle, a boat, even fish swimming by. It's a chemical reaction.
Fascinating stuff.
Mhm.
So our mission tonight really is to give everyone listening a guide. How can you actually get out there and see this amazing natural wonder for yourself?
Okay, yeah. Let's look at the options because there are quite a few ways to experience it here in Brevard.
All right, first one on the list is Islander Water Sports. They do a bioluminescent kayak tour,
They're available year-round, but like we said, March and April are often highlighted.
and the timing looks like evening tours.
Yeah, typically 7:30 p.m. and 9:00 p.m. starts. They're based out of Indian Harbor Beach on A1A,
Okay, and the cost?
around $55 per person.
What's cool about their tour specifically?
Well, they guide you through either the Indian River Lagoon or the Merritt Island Wildlife Refuge. So you get the glow, but also, context. You learn a bit about the ecosystem you're paddling through.
It's a nice bonus.
Yeah.
Education plus the light show.
Exactly. And they also mention wearing dark clothing, which is a good tip we'll probably come back to. It helps your eyes adjust and see the glow better.
Got it. Okay, so kayaking is one way. What if someone wants something maybe a little less paddling intensive?
Right. Well, a day-away kayak tours actually offers a bioluminescent boat tour.
Oh, interesting. So not just kayaks.
Nope. Small boat. Also year-round, best March through April. Their night tours usually kick off around 7:30 CRPM, seasonally though, so best to check.
And where are they based?
Melbourne. Harbor City Boulevard. The tour is about 2 hours. Costs $65.
So a bit more than the kayak, but maybe more relaxed.
Yeah, definitely less physically demanding. You're sitting back enjoying the view. It gives you a different perspective, maybe a better chance to spot some nocturnal wildlife along the shore too without focusing on paddling.
Makes sense. Different strokes for different folks.
Precisely. They also suggest arriving a bit early, which is always good advice for any tour, really. Gives you time to get settled.
Good point. Okay, next up is Kayak Florida. Another kayak tour focused on March and April.
They strongly recommend reservations for this one. Runs 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m.
Location.
Merritt Island, North Courtney Parkway, and this one's $60 per person.
So what's the highlight here? You mentioned Merritt Island for Islander water sports too.
Right, but Kayak Florida really emphasizes that location, the Merritt Island National Wildlife Refuge. It's often cited as one of the world's absolute best, most pristine spots for bioluminescence.
Wow. Okay, so less light pollution maybe? More concentrated glow?
That's the idea. Being in a refuge like that generally means darker skies and a really immersive experience. They also mention wearing water shoes, practical advice for launching kayaks.
Always good to have the right gear. Now, something a little different. Paddle boarding.
Yeah. SUP Central Florida jumps in with bioluminescent paddleboard tours.
SUP, as in stand-up paddleboarding.
Exactly. These run through March and April, too. They have 7:00 p.m. and 9:00 p.m. tours.
Whereabouts?
Melbourne Beach, off Front Street, also $60 per person.
Okay, so stand-up paddleboarding through glowing water. That sounds unique,
It really does. Very peaceful, gliding along. Plus, you get some exercise in there.
but maybe tricky if you haven't paddleboarded before.
Yeah, they do mention that. It might be a bit challenging for total beginners, especially at night. So maybe try paddleboarding during the day first if you're new to it.
Good heads up. All right, one more tour provider. BK Adventure, bioluminescent night tours.
March through April again. And they specifically mention availability varies with the moon phase, which is key.
All right, we need to talk more about that. They're tours.
Start at 8:00 p.m., based in Melbourne on North Harbor City Boulevard. And this one's listed at $49 per person.
Okay, slightly lower price point there. Anything stand out about their tours?
They seem to make a point of allowing plenty of time to just stop, to
Yeah.
float and
Yeah.
really soak in the glow, which is nice, not just constant paddling.
Yeah, sometimes you just want to watch it.
Exactly. And they often share info about the organisms causing the light. Plus, they suggest bringing a waterproof camera or GoPro, good advice, if you want to attempt capturing it.
Attempt being the key word. I imagine it's tough to photograph.
It is definitely tricky. but worth a shot. So yeah, lots of options, but some common themes emerge, especially around planning.
Absolutely. Which brings us to some essential tips no matter which tour you pick. You mentioned the moon phase with BK Adventure.
Yes, hugely important. For the best experience, you really want to aim for the new moon, or close to it.
Because it's darker.
Exactly. The less moonlight, the darker the sky, and the more that bioluminescence just pops. It seems way brighter against a truly dark background.
Makes total sense.
Hmm.
And we touched on clothing.
Right, dark clothing. It sounds simple, but it reduces the contrast and helps your eyes adapt better to see the faint glow in the water. Don't wear white or bright colors.
Okay. What about the weather itself? Does that matter?
Oh, for sure. Ideally, you want a clear night. Warm water temperatures often help too, and calm conditions are best.
Why calm?
Well, if it's windy and the water's choppy, the light gets kind of diffused and scattered by the ripples. Calm water lets you see the distinct trails and flashes more clearly.
Gotcha. And booking. Sounds like planning ahead is crucial.
Absolutely critical, especially for March and April. These tours sell out fast. Don't expect to just show up and get a spot. Book well in advance.
Okay. Any tips for once you're actually on the tour?
Yeah, a couple things. You might want a flashlight to, get to the launch spot or find your car afterwards.
Yeah.
But once you're on the water, try not to use it. Or any bright lights, like from your phone screen, too much.
Why is that?
Artificial light can actually make the bioluminescent critters sort of stop glowing as brightly. Plus, it ruins your night vision, making it harder to see the natural light show. Let your eyes adjust fully.
Advice. Let the natural light be the star.
And photos.
Like we mentioned, bring a waterproof camera or GoPro if you want to try. But manage expectations. It's notoriously difficult to capture well. You often need long exposures, a tripod which isn't easy on a kayak.
Right. Maybe better to just experience it sometimes.
Honestly, yeah. Sometimes just being present and watching it is more rewarding than fiddling with camera settings in the dark. Be patient if you do try, though.
It really does sound like a remarkable thing to witness here in Brevard.
Yeah.
Seeing the water just come alive.
It is. And you've got choices, the workout and closeness of a kayak, the ease of a boat, the unique feel of a paddleboard, something for pretty much everyone.
So think about what suits you best. Are you up for paddling? Prefer to sit back? Want to try standing on water? And remember that timing window, March, April. Check those moon calendars before you book. Find the darkest nights you can.
And book ahead. Can't stress that enough.
Definitely. Experiencing this, it kind of makes you wonder.
What's that?
What other hidden natural wonders are out there in Brevard County waiting to be discovered after dark? Things we don't normally see.
That is a great question to leave folks with. Something to think about.
For sure.
Well, there's our look at bioluminescence tours. Thanks for tuning in to Brevard Beat.